Morgan in Maine with my beautiful friend Beth.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about meal planning. So my question is, how do you do it? And what are you holding?
Okay. I don't do anything fancy, folks. Nothing fancy. This is my weekly meal plan schedule. So some helpful things for me is I do a meat share. So that is very helpful. I do it through Wolf Pine Farms. It's a local farm. And once every quarter, every season, you can put in you can order a small, medium, or large meat share, and it's pork, chicken, and beef. And you get an order of whole chickens and cut up chickens and ground beef, just all different cuts. And you pick it up once every season. And then, so I have all my meats already. So I know what I've got in the basement. So it's really helpful.
So a meat share is like essentially like a co-op.
Mm-hmm. A co-op,
but it's
yes,
only for meat.
Yes.
And then, so what do you do with all the surplus meat? You have a freezer?
We have a deep freezer that we have in the freezer.
Okay.
So we have deep freezer space in the freezer. My sister does it, and she just puts it in a regular freezer.
Okay. So, but once you do it, you have all of your proteins for how long?
It lasts, I think, about 12 weeks for us. We don't have a protein every day.
Wow, that's a good tip.
Yeah, it's helpful that we don't have protein like a beef protein or a meat protein every day. It's kind of like if I feel like this is the meat I have, this has to last me the 12 weeks or however long. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of can divvy it up. So it's like 3 to 4 meals a week.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and like the whole chicken, like that's 2 meals more than versus 1 meal.
Okay.
So that's helpful. So I already know what my protein. I already know what I have for proteins. I know I've got. I can go into that, and then I also look at my calendar for the week. So I know I'm going to be gone or my husband's going to be gone and we have a really busy day that day. So that helps me plan as well. So I can know I need something easy. Am I planning in a date night? Things like that. So I write some key things down on my calendar. And then I just pick kind of what I feel like. And, things change and I'm pretty open and flexible to that. So I do plan like we did chicken and veg on Monday. So I do know I'm going to have leftover chicken. So I filled in chicken and veg, and then I thought on Thursday we'll have chicken fried rice.
Oh, that's smart.
Because I know I'm going to have leftover chicken.
Right.
Another thing I like to think about.
Yeah. Do you belong to a vegetable co-op too?
I do.
You do? Okay.
I do. The vegetable co-op this time of year only comes every 3 weeks. So it comes a little less. In the summer, it does come weekly, which again is super helpful. Now, my family's some of my family's fussy, but I'm trying to get into the place where I just say, too bad, this is what we have for dinner.
Yeah, I was going to ask, so when you make this plan, is it something that everyone just has to eat? Or do you know, this one person doesn't like this item, so I'm going to have to make something else? How do you account for that?
When I originally started I didn't always do this. I have 3 kids, 6, 4, and 2. And when I started doing a real legit meal plan, probably maybe about a year now, because I was just sick of making 4 meals. I was making the kids meals, and this one eats this, and that one eats that, and I just got sick of it. And my husband and I were eating after the kids went to bed.
That's how my life is.
Yeah, and I just got sick of that.
I don't even eat with my kids because I
Yeah.
get so tired of spaghetti and pizza and chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I just got sick of doing that.
Yeah.
And I just kind of got to a point where I was like, I want to sit down with my family and eat, and I'm sick of making 4 different meals. This is ridiculous. And then Kyle and I, sometimes, my husband, we wouldn't eat till 10. This is stupid. This isn't healthy. We're tired. And a lot of times we would be so tired that we'd order out. Because we're like, oh, I'm just so tired. Do you want to go pick up a pizza or go get some burgers? Because we're right in Portland, so we're in town. And we would just be lazy. And I kind of felt like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's too hard.
Plus, you end up spending so much more money.
So much more money.
And then you have spent all this time buying all this food at the grocery store, and then it will go bad because you're not eating it.
And then we're throwing away food, which is terrible. It's terrible when you're throwing away fruits and veggies. You feel terrible. So I kind of got to a point where I was like, enough is enough. So I started picking things that I knew, like, because I'm not super terrible, so I didn't want to be like, tough cookies, kids, we're having liver and onions now. And so, so I do try to, like, chicken and veggies. I know my kids like fresh veggies. My husband more likes cooked veggies. This is easy. What I can do is cut up some fresh veggies and not cook them, and then cook Kyle and I our veggies. So I do some accommodations to that. So I kind of like make it, but I always offer something new, like on the plate. Like, and the kids, the rule is like they've come to the point like you have to try it. You don't have to eat it. You don't have to eat it all. You don't have to like it, but you have to try it.
That's awesome.
And we kind of just put that rule in place, and I say it's okay. You tried it, you don't like it, that's fine. Now we know. And but I keep doing that and keep offering it. So I pick like chicken and veg, tamale pie. And I'm picking things I know. Sometimes, like, I feel like maybe once a week I try to make something new just for fun for myself. But it doesn't always happen. If we have, like, this week, we have a busy Wednesday, and Kyle and I are going out for a date night Friday. So it's a little too busy to try something new. So I just picked our favorite go-tos. So tamale pie is a favorite go-to. It's easy. It's cornbread, ground beef, and enchilada sauce and cheese. Super easy. My kids won't eat that. I know they won't eat that, but I'm making it. And what I'll do is their protein can be cheese because I know they like cheese. And so it's still incorporated, but it's okay if it's on the side. And I'll serve the tamale pie, and I try to always serve vegetables at dinner. And that's what they'll eat. And lately I've been kind of like, this is what there is. If you don't want it, that's fine. But this is what dinner is. I'm not making anything else. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. Sometimes there's tears, but we just kind of are going with it. And it's gotten so much better where they're like, okay, I'll try it. And then sometimes they go to bed and they didn't eat much dinner, but that's okay. They'll eat breakfast in the morning.
I like the idea of the Monday being incorporated in Thursday because my family will eat what I cook, but then nobody ever eats leftovers. Mm-hmm. So we end up throwing away so much food because nobody wants to eat it. So I love the idea of like having this meal and then knowing, okay, from this meal, let's make this meal. Like sometimes when I roast a chicken with vegetables, I'll take the chicken after we've eaten it and then break it down and then make a soup from it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But something like that is really, I think, a time saver, and it also decreases the amount of food that we throw away because it's horrible.
It's the worst way to throw away food. Yeah. I mean, we still have that. We still have food that we throw away. If I wasn't as diligent as heating things up for lunch, but yeah, I do. I think that's the benefit to making things you make often, because then I know I'm gonna have leftover chicken, so we're gonna have 2 chicken meals this week, and that's fine, no big deal. 2 chicken meals this week.
And how good are you at sticking to the menu that you plan? Do you feel like you're really good? Do you feel like?
I would say I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty good at sticking to the meal plan. Mm-hmm. Things come up, life happens, and sometimes we do go get a pizza or a burger. That's okay. No big deal. I have some grace for myself. When you have a life, things come up. Work comes up. Sometimes Kyle, sometimes you work late. Sometimes it's a beautiful day. So we decide to spend our time outside. And what I have planned is something that I had to prep earlier and I didn't because I wasn't home, but that's okay. A lot of times, sometimes I'll do like, this is an easier chicken and rice. So it's going to take a little bit, tamale pie is going to take a little longer. This is for example. So I'm just going to switch those because I know this is easy and I know I can do this in an hour, but this takes a little more time and I don't have that much time. So we're just going to switch it up. So I definitely do that and I definitely go with it. But when it's in front of me, I just have ideas because I think that's what happens is you just have no ideas and you're so tired at the end of the day.
I'm like that when I go to the grocery store. Yeah. Like I go in not knowing what I'm going to be cooking. Yeah. So then I'm just like walking around aimlessly, like buying this snack or that snack that I know the kids will eat. And then I'm like, but what am I doing for dinner?
Yeah, I definitely make up a grocery. So I look at my proteins, and from there I'll build a meal, and from that I build a grocery list. So I definitely have meals in mind. Now, if something's on sale, I'll pick it up. If certain fruits and veggies are on sale, we'll pick it up. We're pretty flexible on our fruits and vegetables, like where we can throw those in. And because I don't have to buy a protein, that helps because sometimes certain proteins are on sale. But if you know a certain protein's on sale, and I feel like if you're having a more simple meal plan, it's easy to kind of swap things out. Like, for example, if you're doing like a spaghetti and meat sauce, it doesn't have to be ground beef. It doesn't have to be pork. It doesn't have to be, but what if one of those is on sale? That's okay. I can just change it up. Or I can make a meatball instead of a, ground beef. So if you do little switches like that, and that doesn't come overnight. I feel like that comes from like making meals, and my mom did not cook. She made spaghetti and meat sauce. That's probably why I use it as an example. And pancakes. That's all she made growing up. That was the only two things she could make. My dad did most of the cooking. So cooking has not come naturally to me, or it's not easy for me. I keep it real simple. And my sister's a way better cook than I am, and she can make anything. She's like, oh, I just thought I'd whip up this Alfredo sauce. I'm like from a jar? Like from a jar, you like whipped it up, like you shook it and whipped it. Like I'm not like that. No, I'm like I grabbed a jar of sauce, and she says it's easy, but
we should take some cooking classes together.
Yeah, we could totally do that, because the only reason I've learned to cook what I have is because I just made it, and I'm definitely not like a recipe for cooking. For baking, I follow the directions because you don't want a pancake when you're trying to make a cake. But for cooking, I am a little more flexible. Kind of like, oh, I'll just throw a little bit of this in there. And sometimes it's a little frightening. Sometimes I have cooking fails. And sometimes it turns out great. And you just learn. And sometimes we have to order a pizza because I've made such a terrible meal. And that's okay. No big deal. We've got some emergency pizza money. Or you go to Little Caesars and you just don't think about it the next day. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any tips or advice for somebody who wants to start doing this method?
I feel like with most things I'm learning, you just start it. And even if because what works for me may not work for you. And it's okay to have grace. It's okay to mess up. And it's okay to say, okay, tomorrow's a new day. Just every day is a new day. And you do what works for you. Do you. I love that. I do like that phrase because I feel like it's, do you. If your family hates chicken, obviously, that's not going to work.
Right. Like this would work with any kind of diet, like vegan or vegetarian or anything.
Yeah. And I think I do think having some type of either paper, they have cool ones where, paper ones where you can write it down, and then a lot of times there's a grocery list next to it. So that's kind of nice. My husband,
I used to have that.
Yeah, those are nice because then you can just stand right here, write it, and then write out your grocery list. I would say starting out with recipes, I think that's kind of easy. Yeah. Like some kind of go-to things, even if it's like we make, a grilled cheese and soup. That's okay. Start with grilled cheese and soup. That's fine. I think
that's good advice. Because I feel like a lot of times when people don't start something, it's because they're so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I think like the key to life really is removing yourself from that overwhelming feeling or situation and just simplifying it for yourself, because otherwise you'll be stuck.
Yeah.
And you'll never grow.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I absolutely agree. And I think we feel like dinner has to be so fancy, or we have to make something new and different. No, stick with what you know. There's nights where grilled cheese and soup, grilled cheese and top ramen is on the list, and that's fine. That's fine. That's what we're having. Your child's not going to die. Your husband's not going to die if you have grilled cheese.
Oh, that was a question I had was, how much does it vary week to week? Is it like totally different every week for like the whole month? It's a very different menu, and then you kind of like go back to the original the first week? Or
we make the same foods. We really do the same things over and over again, and it works for us. And that's why I try to like make something like, again, one new dish, like, and it's like a variation of chicken or a variation of ground beef or
variation of something that that everyone already likes.
Right.
Kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, that's more for me. And if you're someone who likes variety, something my husband and I did for a while is we made a list, but you could also get like, those, I can go to the craft store and get the popsicle sticks.
Oh yeah.
And you can write all the foods you make, all the things just all the things if you know how to make pizza. I know how to make pizza. I know how to make sandwiches. I know how to make spaghetti. I know how to make mac and cheese. Whatever you know, write it all down, and then just pull them out of the thing and work with that. Like, okay, I pulled out these 4 things, and that's what we're gonna have this week. And just
that's an awesome idea.
I
love that.
I feel like that kind of makes it fun, and that's kind of like, this is what I know. And then you'll learn. Like, you'll learn.
When you learn new things, you can put the new things on the
Exactly. And you find recipes you're like, oh, we really liked this recipe. We're going to do that again. So you put it on the stick, throw it right back in. My husband and I have a list. We have a shared list on our phone. And so we just add things to the list. And so if I'm also ever stuck, I can be like, oh, I don't know what to make with this rump roast or whatever. Because sometimes I get weird meats. Then I'm like, what do I do with that? Like a pork chop. What do I do with this pork chop?
You think a pork chop is a weird meat?
Yeah. We don't do pork chops too often because my kids don't really like pork chops. So I get a pork chop. I'm like,
it's not like
how do you make a pork chop? What do I do with this pork chop? So
pork chop.
So I get stuck sometimes. So I will be like, okay, so that's when I sometimes look up a new meal. Sometimes it's just a meat. Sometimes it's something, again, like a pork chop. I'm like, but I did find a recipe that's pretty go-to for us. It's basically like a Parmesan cheese, a shredded Parmesan cheese, or grated Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, and then you just like cover it and bake it with potatoes. Done. Easy. Yeah, super easy.
Okay.
I try to make really easy meals because cooking is not like, yeah, let's cook. It's not like my passion. If it's your passion, that's something different. But I cook because you need to eat to survive. That's what I cook.
Yeah.
We need to survive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just kind of it. And I just feel like start with where you're at and then you'll grow. Nothing happens overnight. Yeah, start where you're at, and sometimes something won't work. You feel like, Beth, this is dumb. None of this works for us. That's okay. What works for you? But start somewhere.
Yeah.
If you want to make a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Just start somewhere. That's all I know about meal planning.